So I haven't made a video in a very long time. And I just got a message that made me think about something I'd already thought about before. I got a message from a guy saying the only people doing the organized gang stalking is FBI, behavior science, whatever. I don't know if that's true, that it's just the FBI behavior science division. But he goes on to say that they target individuals that could have knowledge or witness crimes. That they use advanced imaging, biometric voice print technology to follow you, 10 to 100 man special saturation unit that watches your remove, microwave magic type microphone device to subject you. Da, da, da. But I was just thinking about that because I believe that if I do know why I'm targeted, and if I did, it'd be because of something I witnessed that had to do with a crime that I've mentioned in other videos that took place at a Fremont BHC hospital in 2009, and it was undoubtedly crime. I mentioned in other videos a girl who was saying that she was basically a sex slave, and then there was this other guy in there who basically just admitted to me that he was in the CIA, which I had no reason to doubt and pretty much already suspected that he was some sort of spook. No pun intended, because he was black. Sorry. Not racist. Anyway, I gotta cut that out. Which I already figured anyway, just because of the way he was acting. And he said, he's like, yeah, I'm in the CIA. And I was like, I think you guys killed Bob Marley. And he's like, yeah, we did. And anyways, he was talking, before he mentioned he was in the CIA, he said something about, I think it was before, he said that he'd been to Bush Senior's house and played badminton with him, and he sends letters to him. And there was this other kid in there who apparently was under some form of mind control based on what the conversation had. That's not important. The point is that he was going into the military. That's kind of important, but I can't prove that. But he's the only that person who said that his trainer, I guess, getting him ready to go join the military, or more than that, mind control handler, whatever he was to him. He said his trainer was Bush Senior's bodyguard in the 80s. So that's two people connected to Bush Senior. And one completely directly, the other a little less directly. Oh, and then when I asked the kid who said his trainer was Bush Senior's bodyguard about something having to do with Bush Senior, he said, "Oh, they don't want me to talk about it." So, anyways, I look up. This got me Googling stuff about that guy because I know that guy's name, but I think I gave it out in another video or whatever. But I'm not gonna give it out anymore just because it's outing a CIA agent, and there's nothing you can do about it. Fuck. So I couldn't find anything about him. Although right before my targeting started, I did try and call his law firm because he was also a lawyer, and he said he was also a brain surgeon. And the staff did refer to him as Doctor, his last name, and they wouldn't do anything to him even when he was super violent in the hospital. Anyways, but right before I was targeted, I did find his name connected to a law firm, and I called it up, and I was like, "Hi, is so and so there, or is so and so black?" Because the guy was black, and the lady talking said, "Yeah," and I was like, is it possible I can talk to him? And she's like, "No," and which is a little strange, I guess. And then I was like, "Okay, bye," and the stalking started a few months later, I think, but which would be messed up because he gave me his number. It had 666 in it. That was part of his phone number. But anyways, he changed it since then. But so just now I look up Fremont Hospital BHC CIA, and the first link is my review of them on on Yelp, Second link is the hospital website. That's the third link. And then the fourth link is the fifth link, Bush Crime Family Companies. And I clicked that thinking, oh my god, did I actually stumble on a new piece of the puzzle? And it's just a simple text page. It's on stewweb.com/bush_crime_family_companies.htm. stewwebb.com/ that stuff I just said. Anyway, so it just says Bush Crime Family Companies. Norman Brownstein, aka Norman Philip Brownstein, George H.W. Bush's former CIA counsel when Bush was CIA director. Brownstein, who controls nearly $6 trillion in trusts, set up to hid the Bush's ownership. Here are more of the recent companies and entities Brownstein holds for the Bush-Millman-Clinton crime family. And also see Stu Webb Bush crime family flowchart. and then it says May 21st, 2006. So that was prior to when I was there in 2009. And it's a bunch of hospitals and stuff. And one of them is BHC Fremont Hospital Incorporated. So what do you know? Bush owns that hospital. Unbelievable. But it makes perfect sense from what I witnessed in there. And that kid said, but he's the only person I've ever recognized in my targeting. Right when back in the beginning, when it was a lot of physical stuff and a lot of the bewildering things that they did, I go outside on my porch and I see that kid, and I knew it was him because his shoulders were completely hunched up like this. I mean, it looked like him plus that. And when he was in the hospital, his shoulders were ridiculously like he'd been through some stress, serious stress, and like his shoulders were completely like up like this, and they still were when he was walking across the street. And he was on the phone, and he like looked, and I heard him say, "Yeah, it's Nick." And then I see him look up at me like that, and then he like looked like scared, and then started walking off really fast. And I was just like, "What's up, man?" Because we were like, I wouldn't say friends, of course, because we only interacted for like 5 or 10 minutes in there. But I mean, we got along fine, and we had some interesting, short little conversations. I gave him a nice little book to read, 60-second meditations, and he was reading it like it seemed like he was reading like a page every 5 seconds, and it was small little pages. But I know that if like one of the things that they teach the kids to do in those mind control programs, which I was pretty much convinced that he was, is that they teach him photographic memory, so that one thing they can do is like speed read, something like that, from trauma, I think is how they do it. And so, yeah, it looked like he was reading through the pages, and he read like a few different pages, and every page is like a little meditation. He read like 3 different meditations in like 15 seconds or less, and if he was really reading it, and he's like, "Wow, thank you," and then I'm really blown away right now. I don't know what to say, or if there's even a point in saying this, other than it's more confirmation that I was 100% right. Wow. So, yeah, it's a Bush-controlled hospital, 2 people connected to Bush Sr. in there. And it's, total plausible deniability of it's a fucking mental hospital, so anything you say about it, oh, well, it's a mental hospital, like, you must be crazy. So, I'm going to do a little more digging, and, and in another hospital that I was in, I asked the staff point blank, does the government ever like send people in here to like check up on things? And he was like, yeah. And between those 2 hospitals, there was another parallel that I found very interesting. I don't know if this means anything, but they both had staff that had access to pre-Hollywood release DVDs. At the time, the pre-Hollywood release that they had was like, that they showed in the hospital was 7 pounds or something. It was a Will Smith movie. And I remember walking in, it was horrible. It was like him like killing himself in a bathtub or something, remembering a car crash. And then in the second one, St. Helena in Fremont, Vallejo. For it was it was the Planet of the Apes before the Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. The new version or whatever. That was in 2011, I guess. So if that means anything, I don't know. But so that's what's going on. You got bush hospitals and then if you see what goes on in there and accurately analyze it and talk about it, I guess you get gang stalked. And if you go read the reviews on Fremont Hospital, other than mine's obviously going to be the most controversial or whatever, and anti them. But they're all mostly really bad reviews. Like, the hospital is horrible. And there's another guy on YouTube. This is interesting. There's a guy on YouTube, Mechlock or something. And he has videos about Fremont Hospital, and I don't know. I couldn't really figure out what he was talking about in his videos, but he was complaining about it and talking about like eugenics, I think, and like I asked him, I was like, so when you went to Fremont Hospital and got out, did you start getting stalked and harassed electronically? And he's like, basically. That's all he said to me, just one word, basically. And I asked him if I could interview him on my talk show. And he's like, yeah, but then he never responded after that. So I'm going to try and contact him again. I got to tell him this. But the thing about that is that he had a guy comment on his video saying that he got a laser lobotomy in Fremont Hospital, which is exactly what one of the patients told me I got in there. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, a laser lobotomy? I'd never even heard of such a thing. As far as I knew, the only lobotomy I got in there was chemical with fucking haloperidol and all that lithium and stuff. That's just amazing. That laser lobotomies are apparently going on there. Or that at least they're making people think they're getting laser lobotomy. Why would he know that term? Like, why would both of us be told that term? And I wonder if that person was told by a patient as well. If, like, how many of the patients in there are really patients? That place was just insane. My friend went there, and luckily he got out without anything too bad happening. But they almost convinced him to get fucking shock treatment.